370,000 criminal WhatsApp messages, and 11,000 fraudulent bank statements. That alone is enough to send anyone to prison. By the time you finish investigating these messages and statements, you are bound to find at least 10,000 criminal links. General Khan knows this. He knows that appearing before the Madlanga Commission is as good as handing himself over to the police, so he pulled a very clever trick. 2 days before he was scheduled to testify at Madlanga, General Khan executed what I call the Mogotsi move. He staged his own assassination just to avoid testifying. Today, he sent his arrogant legal team to cover for him. Arriving in suits and dark sunglasses, they whispered to each other, "Let's go run the show." But the moment they walked into the commission, it was as if war had been declared. First, they tried to talk down on Commissioner Khumalo. Then, they tried to bully Advocate Sello when she questioned them. That was the exact moment Justice Madlanga lost his patience. He tore them apart, piece by piece, until they were forced to take off their sunglasses in humiliation. Dear viewers, welcome to today's podcast. If you love justice and want to see these criminals nailed, hit that like button and share this video with everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Type Bravo Mkhwanazi in the comments. Let's give honor to whom honor is due. Jabilani, roll the clip.
Oops. At least for now. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Khan.
Thank you, chairpersons and commissioners, Ms. Hassan. There are two issues presenting themselves before you this morning for consideration. The one issue, as formulated by the evidence leaders, is the question of the in-camera application. And the second issue, while distinct and pertinent, is intertwined to the first issue. The evidence leaders have indicated that notwithstanding the current circumstances in relation to General Khan, they wish to lead their evidence today due to time constraints. I'm going to address both these issues, if I may.
Just very, very quick, is it today? The leading of the evidence, will that be today? I understood we are hearing the evidence of some other witness today.
Chair, there is another witness who's scheduled, the in-camera witness L, this afternoon.
Yes.
So the directions we would seek would be for the chair to allocate a date to us. And with regard to the current schedule, I think that the soonest time you could hear me on General Khan's evidence is Friday, since we've just postponed Mr. Mkhwanazi to tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you.
So if you could make your submissions on the basis that what the evidence leaders are indicating is Friday, Mr. Khan.
Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you.
This is the first that I hear of this change. It might have an impact on what I intend saying to you, because I might want to interact with Ms. Hassan and try and get some direction, and if necessary, postpone what I want to say to Friday morning. It will be a short address, but I might be able to clarify issues in advance with her, thereby saving the Commission some time. The first issue can be disposed of this morning, and it emanates from paragraph 10 of the opposing affidavit that was filed, was it yesterday? Yes. I'll just read the relevant portion in the evidence leaders say the following. The evidence leaders accordingly invite General Khan and his attorneys to reformulate a better focused application having regard to the issues raised in the answering affidavit. Without going into the details of what and what may not be reformulated and what the concerns are, I accept the invitation and we'll do that, given the circumstances that we find ourselves in and the urgency with which the in-camera application was brought. So that disposes of the first issue. As regards the second issue,
Can I just ask, Mr. Khan, what is the first issue that you say is now disposed of after you read from the answering affidavit?
that is our General Khan's application for an in-camera hearing, which was delivered on Sunday before the unfortunate incident. So the evidence leaders yesterday delivered an opposing affidavit, but it is a qualified opposing affidavit where they concede that there are potentially certain matters that may be sensitive and requiring considerations of in-camera application. But they, however, raise certain points in relation to the terms of reference and specifically what should be in camera as opposed to a blanket in-camera application. So, reading from what they say in their opposing affidavit, we accept the invitation that we better formulate what it is exactly that we want in camera, because we have made the concession that not everything ought to be in camera. There are other considerations emanating from this as well, which we've communicated to them, and we don't need to detain you with, but there might be a need for IDACT to comment on certain things that we wish to say. So it's a work in progress at this stage, and because of General Khan being indisposed, we believe that we can do a better job and present this application better considered by both legal teams before you.
Will this, constitute, or is what is still to be filed a supplemented affidavit, the application remaining the same?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Subject to the proviso that despite what is floating around in the media and doesn't bother us too much, that General Khan is actually unconscious, sedated, and we haven't been able to get access to him for purposes of further instructions in relation to this. So obviously the supplementary affidavit will arrive as and when we are able to present it.
Any further submissions? I just want to ask a quick question.
Yeah, there was an invitation for us to present medical evidence. We have now received the J88, which we will immediately make available to our colleagues, and there is a request. There is a request by the family members.
Yes, Mr. Khan.
Yeah, it's a redacted J88. There is a request by the family members that I invite, given what is being said in the media and in the social media, and the concerns raised by the police, there's allegations that this is a contrived shooting, etc., and that General Khan is in fact lying relaxed in hospital eating jelly, that we invite the chairperson and or the further commissioners to have access to him in hospital and to speak to his medical attendants and verify and satisfy yourself that he is in fact in an extremely critical situation as set out in the J88.
My name is Khan.
Good morning, Commissioner.
It's just not clear to me what you want us to do with the current application. Do you want it to be postponed sine die while you supplement?
Absolutely.
And the idea, as I understand it, is that you are going to specify what you are referring to in prayer 2, because as it currently stands, it's too wide. So the idea is that you will specify it in line with the invitation in paragraph 10 of the answering affidavit.
Absolutely, it's that.
So the current application as it stands will be postponed sine die.
Correct.
And then the second issue, it doesn't affect this application because the application was about Mr. Khan himself giving evidence in camera and not what the evidence leaders intend to do on Friday. But you say you need time to discuss with Advocate Hassim so that you have clarity in terms of what is it exactly they intend to do on Friday.
Yes.
Have I understood you correctly?
Yes, if we are able to come to some agreement on what happens on Friday, great. But if we're not, then we would like to obviously address you further on Friday morning as to how the procedure unfolds.
All right.
Thank you.
By when will this let me just loosely call it a supplement. By when will that be filed?
Chairperson, Advocate Khan, as I've indicated, is
General
Khan.
General.
Sorry. This, I noticed yesterday that the media indicated that I'm General Khan's younger brother, which I'm not. So, yes, General Khan. Both my attorney and I have had access to General Khan. He's not verbal at the moment. He is sedated. He's got tubes coming out of his mouth, abdomen. His doctors have restrained the number of visitors that he may receive. I've brought photographic evidence for the commissioners. And again, we invite the commissioners to attend at his hospital to satisfy yourselves as to his condition. He's certainly not a person who's lying in bed, awake, enjoying his hospitalization and able to give us instructions. So briefly to answer your question, I cannot commit to when this supplementary affidavit will become available. Of course, this supplementary affidavit talks to his ability to testify. So if he's unable to testify, he's most certain, well, if he's unable to commission a supplementary affidavit, he's most certainly unable to testify. So they go hand in hand. Our position is that we don't wish to hamstring the work of the Commission. As regards the evidence of General Khan and what is to unfold, we're told by the evidence leader at this point in time that they will be addressing you on Friday morning. May I have the opportunity till Friday morning to consider my position and then communicate and engage with them? It might very well be that we can limit issues with them, and then we report back to you on Friday morning.
Mr. Khan, if we were in motion court, you would be asking a judge to remove your matter from the roll because the judge would have raised difficulties with your application, and you would be aware that if you were to proceed, it's likely to be dismissed. So the mic is, yeah. So that's where you find yourself, and speaking for myself, I understand your difficulty because you are counsel. You don't have the authority to withdraw or to tender a withdrawal. You would need to take instructions. But it seems to me that the proper thing would be for you to say the application should be removed from your roll today, and your attorneys will decide what to do with it. They may very well give a notice of withdrawal. But you seem to be understanding Commissioner Baloyi's position because none of what she says prevents General Khan from bringing the same application properly motivated. Because even your notice of motion, your prayer too, as it stands, I have serious difficulties with it. So it's not a simple case of just supplementing or filing a replying affidavit. You need to fix your notice of motion as well. So it makes sense to me that the application has to be withdrawn, and if you are so instructed, you file a proper, motivated application that deals with the issues that you want to be heard in camera. Because as it stands, those are not there. It's just blanket statements that, we do not understand. So with that in mind, maybe without wasting any further time, just tell us what you want to do, and Chair will consider that and we will move forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. I've heard you say that without giving legal advice, a prudent course might be to simply remove the application. And I'll ask that we remove the application from your roll.
Thank you very much. The removal is yours. It's not done by us. So I assume that we must take the application as removed.
Thank you very much.
All right. In the interim, and regarding any concerns General Khan and you, the legal representatives, might have with regard to possible prejudice, I would refer you to paragraph 23.4 and page 33 of the answering affidavit. There, the evidence leaders make a fair point. The evidence, they say, I quote, the evidence leaders will engage General Khan and his legal team on how to present evidence on the remaining topics in a manner which does not compromise confidential crime intelligence information or prejudice the safety of informants or undercover agents. So it's not as if Ms. Hassim intends to, on Friday, just start leading evidence without that engagement having taken place. This means that Ms. Hassim, as all of us actually should, accepts the fact that with an intelligence operative, there should indeed be intelligence-related matters which should not be aired publicly, security-related, and even confidential, all of which should not, as I say, be aired publicly. Ms. Hassim understands that, and because of that understanding, she's willing to engage with General Khan, but because you say he is not conscious at the moment, I thought you said, that means Ms. Khan will engage with you, General Khan's legal representatives, you accepted that, for example, that this application is not saying we should, what should be aired publicly is erratin only. So you accept that there's more than just that. So that's the ground which will be covered by the engagement between the two sides, as it were. So in a sense, this provides somewhat of a cushion.
Yes, Commissioner, Chairperson, there is some comfort in this statement here.
Yes.
And that is why I prefaced my address to you with my desire to engage with the evidence leaders and see how we can come to some resolution.
Yes. No, thank you. Thank you very much then. This is closed. The application is withdrawn, so this discussion is closed. But, yes. No, I did say we cannot withdraw. There's an issue or two that I wish to address, Mr. Khan. Up to today, we have never had to follow, interact with, pronounce on, or engage with issues that are out there in the media. But this time around, I do wish to raise issues that were in the media. Here's the background. Our spokesperson, Mr. Jeremy Michaels, picked up an interview that was conducted by Ms. Zianda, and she was interviewing you. Our spokesperson was quite concerned by some of the things that you said, and he suggested to the commission that a media statement should be issued addressing those issues that concerned him. After discussion within the commission, the view taken was that rather these issues should be raised here in open session with you. I will commence to do just that. At what time did General Khan serve his papers on the commission? It was Sunday night, was it not?
That's correct.
At what time?
My attorney is checking right now.
It is at 4 minutes past 11 on Sunday night, Chair.
4 minutes past 11, yes. And at what time is General Khan supposed to have been shot?
If I may. We do not say with certainty, but it appears to be approximately 11:30.
11:30. Now I want to refer you to a response. We have a transcript of the interview.
Chair, we could provide a copy of that transcript to my learned friend.
Oh, you did?
I'm not certain when. I don't have it in front.
No, I'm saying we could provide a copy as you addressing these issues, so he has it in front of him.
Perhaps we should adjourn very briefly, and you can indicate as soon as that has been done. We'll just wait outside.
It won't be long, Chair, so don't go upstairs.
Sorry?
I said we won't be long, so don't
No,
go
I'm saying we'll stay. Well, the last question I asked was what time General Khan was shot or is supposed to have been shot. You said around 11:30. Was it not in fact earlier than that?
Chairperson, I have not spoken with the police, neither have I seen any of their investigations. You will remember that I bent over to my attorney and asked him, and that is what was communicated to me. So,
Oh my God.
independently, I'm unable to answer that question.
Somebody took my laptop and my copy of the transcript. Oh gosh. Yeah. But before we stand down waiting for my laptop, you may counter this if you want to end, indeed, as you are free to or at liberty to. I have here something posted by Mr. Bule Lichwidi Jones of ENCA on X. I assume that a tweet is still a tweet, is not an X, even though the platform is now X. And it says, at ENCA, and then arrived on the scene around 23:18. The incident happened just after 2300 hours, we are told. But what's important is he's already there. He's there at 23:18, so obviously before past. And he says he's told that the incident happened at 2300 hours. Would you have a basis for saying that is not so?
No, I was not at the scene. I was informed much later, and I did not arrive at the scene.
No, I'm asking a different
don't have
question.
a basis.
You would not be able to say that is not correct.
I'm not able to.
You are not able to say so. All right. Now, here's my difficulty. You suggest in the interview, you mentioned the unfortunate death of obviously there, even though you don't mention the name, it's obviously a reference to witness D or Mr. Marius van der Merwe. You say a witness that testified at the commission has passed on, and you then mention the fact that the application was saved, and then you suggest that there is or must be a leak within the commission. Everything looked at in context, you are suggesting that General Khan may well have been shot as a result of that leak. Because if you are not suggesting that, why else mention this? Am I interpreting your response correctly?
No.
Please tell me what your interpretation is. Why would you have mentioned the leak or the possible leak, and why would you have mentioned the death of Mr. Marius van der Merwe?
Yes. So, your chairperson and honorable commissioners, you will notice from this transcript that was just provided to me, and I don't doubt its authenticity, that at the beginning of the transcript, I indicated that I'm reading a statement on behalf of the family. Present with me was my attorney and members of the family standing around, and I was instructed to read the statement. I had also obtained my impressions of that morning and the concerns, and I place it in context from the family. Now, the context of that morning were, and these are also my experiences when I arrived at the hospital, that there were members of various different units at the hospital attempting to get access to General Khan to confirm whether he is in fact seriously injured or what the circumstances are. But then turning specifically to the question itself, which appears at page 7 of the transcript, and if I may read it for us, Ms. Ngobo says the following, and in fact, maybe I should pause because you referenced something about Mr. Pule. I have not spoken with Mr. Pule, but that's a separate issue.
That's just for timing, and I'm still to zoom in on that.
So, Ms. Ngobo says, because the impression that I am getting now is that immediately after you delivered papers to the Madlanga Commission, this happened. In other words, that affidavit firstly would implicate possible other high-ranking officials, which would then by implication to an extent mean that perhaps you also would have a leak of some sort, either on your side or maybe on the commission side. My answer to that, sorry, let me finish it. Am I misunderstanding the way that this has been framed? My answer to that, well, at this point, it is speculative. And the speculation that I receive is from the information from the family expressing their concerns that morning in respect of a man that is shot, that is in ICU, and that is being rumored to be losing his life. I say further, it is speculative, but we do have concerns. Now, the concerns that I'm speaking about are based on the following, amongst others, and I'm again cautious to speak in the media. The question was, is there a leak on your side or a leak in the commission? And I say it is speculative, but we have concerns. And we do, in fact, have concerns about leaks on our side. We also have concerns that have been expressed to us, for example, that, and I'm traversing other issues such as the police raid at the premises of General Khan, that the media were in fact there before the police arrived. One person who appeared before the commission has already been murdered. This is something, and it appears elsewhere in this report, and it's also reported by the different journalists. Did General Khan fear for his life? He communicated directly to me and my attorney seated next to me that in light of all of these events, and he specifically mentioned the murder of somebody that appeared before the commission, that he feared for himself. And you'll see in this report, I say, he used different vehicles, he took different routes, and he consulted his legal team at different locations. I go on to say there had been an attempt on General Khan's life as he was to appear before the commission, and there is grave concern that there might be a compromise within the commission. General Khan had expressed to my attorney and myself that in fact his team was the unit that did the security services for the commission itself. Now, this is not to say, and I say this unqualifiedly, that this is not to say that there is a leak within the commissioners, within the evidence leaders, but there are police officers involved in these incidences that General Khan was concerned about. And that concern was carried over by his family to the police trying to get access to him on the morning of the incident. But lastly, I say, and I qualify this, but at this stage, it is speculative. It is speculated by the family, if that assists, Commissioner.
You see, this is not only about what you intended to convey, but it is also about how reasonable listeners would have understood this. You are saying this in the context of General Khan having been shot. And in that context, you mention leaks or compromise. Or what did you mean by compromise? I understood it, and I believe myself to be a reasonable listener. I understood you to be referring to leaks from or by the commission.
Absolutely not.
And I also understood that to go back to the context in which General Khan was shot. So all of that, when you look at it holistically, it suggests that we served the commission late last night. He gets shot after service of the documents, and there are leaks within the commission. When you look at the totality of all that, it does suggest, or it may reasonably suggest to a reasonable listener, that we're basically saying that as a result of the leak, General Khan, or rather, General Khan may well have been shot as a result of the leak from the commission. That would, or that's a possible way in which a reasonable listener would have understood what you said.
May I reply?
Yes.
I unqualifiedly before you and the media say that that is not my instructions, and that is most certainly not what I intended to communicate to the media with my attorney and family members of General Khan present.
Thank you. May I say this then? If you are ever to make media briefings again, be careful of what you say and don't say anything that may tend to impugn the integrity of this commission. You should be very careful about that.
I note what you say.
Are you within what's colloquially referred to as the organized bar, or are you a so-called independent?
Organized bar.
Organized bar. Well, as I know them, having been a member of the so-called organized bar for many, many years, there was, I'm not saying there should still be, because even within the bar sometimes there may be disagreement, but there was a rule that said members of the bar can only go out to the media be interviewed and make statements to the media after having received permission from their bar. Otherwise, you don't just go out there and make. I repeat, I'm not saying that that rule should still continue to exist. Perhaps some might even say, does that not infringe the right to freedom of expression and so on and so on. But the point I make is, if that rule still exists and without it having been removed from the rules of the so-called organized bar, I wonder whether you got the permission, or if you didn't, what your basis for engaging in this in the first place was. But anyway, that's not for me. I'm just stating that that's how, as someone who once was a practitioner, that's how I know the rules to have been. I don't know if they still are. Anyway, you have said that that was not your intention, and I've already admonished you never ever to make statements that may tend to impugn the integrity of the commission. Let me move on to